Okay, gorgeous souls. I was just watching a very interesting masterclass with um, Richard, is his name, I believe. Richard Watt. I'm always so bad at names. Even when I met my husband for the first time, I had trouble remembering his name. That's how bad I am with names. Faces, I never forget, but names is like this thing for me. However, it's such an interesting masterclass because it's all about prosperity and prosperity versus wealth. We've been speaking about in the podcast a little bit about as well. And in this masterclass, he also goes a little bit more in depth about the six lines in the whole pearl sequence. And one of the, I'm sorry, one of like the major takeaways for me when I started looking into the Jinkies. At first, I was like, what the fuck is Jinkies? I thought it was so complicated. I couldn't understand it at all. And then somehow the universe just showed me these resources that really helped me understand it all at a much deeper level. And I really love that about, like, if you are willing to learn stuff and you are willing to say to the universe, I want to learn, and instead of like forcing your way into understanding things, letting the universe show you, okay, this is the direction you can take, this is the direction you can take, things really open up for you. Because if I like, remember like the first time I heard about Jinkies, I think it was like maybe half a year ago or something. And I heard this person speak about the Jinkies, and I was like, what the fuck is she talking about? Yeah, I was so interested, but I was so not ready yet. But like this little seed was planted in my mind that I wanted to learn more about it. And like I explained in the last episode about the garden, that seed started growing. And while I was like focusing my attention on different things in my life and in my business, actually I really feel like we shouldn't even talk about life versus business. I really feel like it's all one. But anyway, as I was just like focusing on different things, that seed really got fed by like by nature, by amazing rain and amazing sun and amazing ground, mist, whatever you want to call it. And then just that one day, I just looked at my garden and I saw this beautiful opening about the Jinkies. And that's really, really, I believe, the way we should be working with the universe. Like, we want to like we want to acknowledge our desires. We want to acknowledge like, hey, this interests me. But instead of them forcing your way into it and be like, okay, damn it, now I'm gonna figure out how I'm gonna make this little seed grow in like a minute, that's never gonna work. That seed is just gonna die right away. But when you just like step back and trust the universe, okay, I have done my part. I've done the asking. Now the universe is gonna take care of the rest. That's when beautiful things start showing up, and that's what really happened with me and the Jinkies. Like I just planted the seed, then I stepped back from it, did my thing, and then all of a sudden all these openings came about the Jinkies, and it really, really opened up so much for me. I mean, I thought human design was interesting, but Jinkies like open a whole other level. Um, One of the most profound things that I found very, very interesting is like in the Pearl sequence, they have these six lines, and one of the six lines is the fourth line. I'm the fourth line, and the fourth line is all about charity. And I've said this in previous episodes as well, I think. But I even today I felt like I'm even starting to grasp it on an even deeper level. So what these six lines actually mean in the Pearl sequence is that it shows us why we are like what's the reason behind behind the what is the reason why we make money. So we live in this universe where we are very triggered and very conditioned to think that making lots of money is like is the definition of success. So when you make a lot of money, you are very successful. I mean, I remember that even like in the beginning of my business, if I would tell people, outsiders, like how much revenue I would make in my business, people were like, oh my God, that is amazing. If I would have done the same work, but I wouldn't have made any revenue, people wouldn't have thought or said, wow, that is amazing. So, on a collective scale, we have really, really, really put such emphasis on money and success and value. You make lots of money, you are successful. But one of the biggest takeaways, I think, that like, well, no, not what I think, what I feel, what I got out of the Jinkies so far, is that we are all uniquely designed, right? And that, like, one of the things Richard said I found so interesting. I hope his name is Richard. Yeah, I think it is. If it's not, please excuse me. But one of the things he said is like, we are not all designed to be millionaires. And I think that is such a sigh of relief for a lot of people who are listening to this podcast, because I feel like a lot of women, you maybe even, who are listening now to this podcast, feel like, oh my God, that so resonates with me. I don't want to be a millionaire, right? So what he really explains to us is that, like, these 6 lines are very interesting. You can go to jinkies.com and you can get your chart, and it will show you exactly what your line is. And what's really interesting is the 4th line is all about charity. So I make money so I can give it away. And that is so true, because since the moment I started making money, I gave it away. So you could give it away to really charity groups, right? Or you can give it away to family or people in need or whatever. But when I remember, if I remember now, when I just started my business and I wrote down my miracle, because I work with these miracles that I write down, I always said I want to make money so I can buy my stepdad a new car, because he didn't have the money at that time to buy a new car. And I want to make this money because I want to take my family to this amazing restaurant so we can eat all together there. So all my goals around money were always surrounded by me being able to give it away. I really, really don't need that much money for myself. I'm pretty happy where I'm at. I mean, I actually have everything I need. I have my daughter, and that's all I need actually. And I have my husband and my lovely dog. I'm a fulfilled person. But my soul loves giving away money. So the whole reason why I want to make money is so that I can give it away. So when I am not making money and I can give it away, that's when it starts feeling like scratchy, because I'm like, oh my God, I want to give it away. But it's very interesting if you are starting to look at your line and your life and your design in that way, to really understand, okay, why am I making money? And am I actually doing the things with the money that I'm actually designed to do? So, for example, if you are a one line, the line of simplicity, it's very interesting as well, because the line of simplicity really means that you want to live a simple life. You want to live the most simple life ever. So you actually don't want to make a lot of money, because money really makes life more complicated. That's also something that I find very interesting about his translation about wealth versus prosperity, is that, like, wealth actually accumulates. You have to accumulate things in order to get wealth, and accumulation makes things heavier. And for prosperity, you don't have to accumulate anything. So for prosperity, it makes everything light. And the Pearl teachings are really not about like, it's not like against making money. That's not the case at all. But it is really looking at your design to see, where are you designed to make money with, and what are you designed to do with your money once you attained it. So, for example, like, if you are a one line and you are like conditioned in this way that you should be making a lot of money, but you like deep inside your soul you are one line, it's so against your nature to make a lot of money. So then money becomes this whole humongous trouble, right? But once you accept, like, okay, I'm a one line, oh my God, I'm just here to live a simple life. I don't really want to make a lot of money. I want to make money so I can pay my mortgage and pay for like nice holidays with my kids and maybe for some beautiful coaching for myself. But other than that, I really don't need a lot of money. What a sigh of relief, right? Once you discover that. And then also like the third line I find so interesting as well, because the third line is all about celebration. And celebration means that maybe, yeah, like these people can really make a lot of money as well, because they they need that money to celebrate, right? So they need that money to celebrate in order to, like, they might, like Richard said, such a beautiful example, like they might need a Porsche, but they don't need 10 Porsches, they need one Porsche so they can drive all these people around to give them such a fun experience, right? And then the second line is all about love. And those people are really like, love is like the most important thing, relationships. So they might make some money, so they have the money to travel to meet all these beautiful people. But other than that, much more than that, they don't need. So once you start looking at your design and your line like that, and you start understanding it, all of a sudden you can become a millionaire with maybe even like €1,000 a month of income. Like if you are a one line, a simplicity line, €1,000 a month might be more than enough for you. You might live in a tiny house and you might not need anything more than €1,000 a month, but that will give you the feeling of being a millionaire. You will feel like the most prosperous person in the world, right? Or like if you are like a five line or a six line, you might make lots of more money, and it will make you feel like a millionaire. But it really like for me, I don't know. I just keep hearing those words like a sigh of relief, like, oh my God, this is why I make money, and this is how much I sort of need. I like, for the longest time I felt like I wanted to make a million. Like, I want to make $1 million. And I was like, why would I even want to make $1 million? And now I totally understand that, like, at this point, with $1 million, I don't really know what to do with that. I don't have an organization or a cause yet where I can feel like, okay, I could give them that kind of money. I haven't found my charity program where I'm so passionate about that I like feel like, okay, I can give them $1 million. So for me, in order to decide how much money do I need, is really to look, okay, how much money do I currently need to give away? Like, what is my surroundings asking? Like, how can I provide for the people I love? And what do they need at this point, right? So in that regard, your income then also becomes fluctual, right? Because we tend to think in the online coaching space and business space, like, oh, you have to make a 10K a month and 20K a month, and you're successful if you grow, 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 grow. But if you look at this system of money, it becomes a whole different ballgame, because one month my surroundings maybe need maybe need me to make 10,000, but then like the other month maybe everybody is really well on their way and we don't need that much, and then I'm okay with 5,000, right? So it takes away the judgment. It takes away the judgment about how your money comes. It takes away the judgment about some months lower incomes, some months higher incomes, and it puts everything in perspective, at least for me. And I really believe, like, if this resonates with you, then it probably will put really a lot of things in perspective for you as well, especially if you find yourself judging yourself about how much money you have been making, or the way you've been making money, or why it hasn't been flowing to you, or why it has been flowing to you, or any judgment about money, this all puts it in perspective. So this is really something I want to share with you today because it's such an aha moment for me. It's such an opening for me in my in my prosperity journey. It's really, really quite amazing. And oh yeah, that's what I also was thinking about. Like, so I can totally imagine, like, if I would like, if the universe would show, like, I. Sorry, I'm distracted by all the sounds. Hey baby, wat ben je aan het doen? So, I've planted a seed in my garden about like attracting or allowing this beautiful, beautiful organization where I have so much heart for that I could support, right? So I'm not gonna look for it because that will be me forcing it, but I'm gonna allow it. And then you have the chance that by the time that that charity will come on my path, that at that point I will start making lots of more money because all of a sudden I have this drive to do it for them, right? So my thing has always been, and I've always said that to my husband and to my parents, like I have to feel it. If I don't feel it, I cannot attract money. And for the longest time, I thought that was my downfall, and I thought it was a limiting belief. But now I understand that it's not a limiting belief at all. It is in line with my soul to really, really trust that if I feel it, I can make money. And if I don't feel it, then there is no reason for me to make money because it's not in line with my soul. So, I'm gonna end this episode with all my love and this little princess love too. Dada, Baba, Mama, Dada. Okay, say bye-bye. Say bye-bye. We're gonna end it. I wish you the most amazing evening if you hear this tonight. Otherwise, have an amazing day if you hear this tomorrow. And I hope this opens up something amazing for you in your own journey. And yeah, may all your wants, desires, and wishes come into fruition. Much love. Bye.